PTG here, welcome back to the channel. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share using my hashtag Feral Trade Gaming. This is Access Football 24 honest review, and it will be honest. Stay to the end because I'm preaching, speeching, all of it at the end, man. Make sure you stay tuned. Let's get into the video. First up on the bad list is console players can't edit end zones or add logos to the created team's uniforms. You actually need a PC, and it's not like it's an automatic thing with the PC. You actually have to create mod folders and stuff like that. So it's kind of a like process that shouldn't even have to be had. It should just be way easier than that. Next is no online franchise competition or competitive play. This is important for those type of gamers. For me, it's not really that big of a deal, but for those type of gamers, I understand that that's probably something they really want in a football game. It's something they should have in a football game, especially at this time, you know. Next up is there's no creative play nor edited play in a playbook editor. Now, I did say there is a playbook editor, but it's not a creative play, it's not an edited play, and that's actually important, especially since there's other indie games that's already implemented this in a game. It has done it really well. It should already be in access. I mean, people have been asking for it. Me specifically, been asking for it for years. So let's go to the franchise. Teams don't have AI logic to update their depth charts. You still have to set up trades. You still have to wait till, you know, after certain things happen for the teams to finally update their rosters or you know, update their depth charts to make people think players better. So y'all know from my seasons, I like to add HBCU players from the Team Robinson, Team Gaither, HBCU Legacy Bowl, and put them on different teams just to see them pop up on the stat list and see how they would be doing, everything like that. And you see in a lot of weeks, I kind of skip it because a lot of my guys aren't starting, so they don't put up the numbers they should be because they're not even on starting, because again, there's no logic to update depth charts at any time unless something, you know, something happens. It has to be something specific that happens to do it. As well with that AI is bad team management logic. There's, again, the updating depth charts, the releasing the wrong players, releasing good players, releasing players that still can play to bring in players who, you know, not all that good. That kind of happens in the new team activity slot that you will see in a franchise. It happens for the wrong way, for the wrong reasons, and you know, it's just something for them to work on. There are no stats for offensive linemen. I hate not having a football game where there are no stats for the big guys. OL, they need stats, man. And actually, honestly, there should be specific stats for the defensive linemen too. They have stats for defensive linemen, but offensive linemen don't show up anywhere unless they accidentally pick up a fumble and get some yards. And I don't even think that shows up. So, I mean, this is ridiculous. That's something standard in a football world. Like stats for all offensive lines, kind of standard. You can't forget the big guys, the pancakes, the sacks allowed. You need to judge who does what. And for scouting that, it's important too, because you'll know, okay, well, versus the run, he blocks really well, but with the pass, he sucks, or vice versa. So going over to graphics now, there is still no height and no weight differences in the player models. I mean, the options are there, but if you make a person 5'8" and you make a person 6'9" and you put them on the field standing next to each other, they're the same. They're the exact same player model. Different skin tone, sleeves, visors, but everybody's still wearing gloves. And that's my next bad is everybody is still wearing gloves. Like, do other video games, like, come on, man, like, come on, bro. Like, in Maximum, you had a player model without gloves, and that was normally the kicker, punter, and quarterback. But when you understood that's the difference, everybody doesn't wear gloves. And in any football pro league, there's some players that choose not to. Quarterbacks tend not to. If they do wear gloves, is one. Like, the option for it should be in the game, let alone them not wearing it. Should be like, it's crazy. That is crazy. Little equipment customization was my next thing, but I literally just said it. It should be an option to turn off gloves. It's an option to turn off sleeves and the small sleeves and everything like that, but it should be an option to turn off gloves. A little bit more accessories. It should be an option to edit the logos. Like, they wear the Axis logos on the gloves versus wearing the team logos. Like, it should be options. Like, come on, man. It's anyway. So the next option is most stadiums don't have enough fans, and I'm thinking, when I said this, I'm saying like the new stadiums. I know new stadiums, you know, they just got added to the game, whatever. The older stadiums seem to have more fans, and stuff like that. So I'm not too picky on this. I just, the newer stadiums, it just needs to get a little bit more fans and stuff like that. And you cannot tell the difference between night and day games. I've noticed that in 2 years ago. Like, night and day games kind of hard to tell the difference. The lighting in the game, I don't know if it's the lighting in the game or if they just haven't worked on that yet, but you can't tell the difference. And if you can't tell the difference, then why should you put that on there? Because when I say a night game and I'm not in the dome, I do want to see, like, I'm playing at night. I want to feel like I'm playing at night. Like, that's the whole point. Otherwise, we'll just keep it in the day. Like, don't put the option there. Next thing is, snow does not stick to the field. Now, there is a snow effect, and that was cool last year. Cool year before, whatever. But like, we don't see the snow stick for something that's been in the game for as long as it has. Like, the field, it's time to turn the field white. And if it's a graphic problem, then it should have been worked on already, because the Axis has had a year to work on graphics. That should have been something that's been worked on since it's been in the game that long. The fact that it has not, it's kind of disappointing. And I'm not just being picky there. Like, that's something that's kind of important. Snow falling onto green grass and never sticking and never changing. The players are not reacting to it. There's nothing. It's just white balls in the way. Like, it's anyway. And then the next is, they need more layers in customizing uniforms. It's different ways you want to do the socks versus the cleats versus the pants, and it seems like with how everything's connected together, it kind of makes it hard. Especially the jersey too, it kind of makes it hard to really get creative. Once you created so many teams, you kind of just create the same teams over and over after a while. And that, I know some people well, that's not really all that, whatever. But for me, it is. Like, I'm like, it's like, bro, if you're gonna implement something, if you're gonna put it in the game and you're gonna implement it, and if you make it part of the cycle, you know what I'm saying? And we ask and we ask and we ask and we ask for this, and you say, you're gonna do what the people ask, and that's your goal, is to make sure you're interacting with your fan base, make sure then come on, man. Like, we've been asking for a lot of stuff. I said, now the layers with customization uniform, that's new. I haven't been asking for that, so I'm not gonna hold that against you. But everything else, we've already been asking for this. Like, this is wild at this point. But anyway, so now we're gonna go to the gameplay, and this is kind of where I get toxic with it, because I'm sick of it. I've been into the Discord. I've had the same conversation with the same 3 trolls that won't leave me alone about what I'm saying. So here's the deal, okay? When we say, I understand that EA, Madden, right, has the world scared of what user control feels like in a football game, because some people don't have the skills and some people do have the skills, and some people can't and some people can, and some people are in between and just really don't care as long as they have the option. Well, I'm one of those people who don't care as long as I have the option. Fam, catching is a simple concept. Putting your hands up for the ball. I want to control that. That's part of user control. If I can't control when my defensive player goes for an interception, why is it fair to control where the football is thrown? That makes no sense. Logic, fam. The logic is, well, I want to be able to put my player in place, but let the skill gap do it. Let the skills and attributes matter. Okay, that's an understandable concept. So then stop controlling the quarterback, because when you control the quarterback, you're doing more than putting him in place. You're throwing the ball. That's putting the ball in place. That's user control. You're putting the ball into the whatever receiver you think you should put it in, whoever's open. So if you honestly feel like attributes should matter, quarterback awareness accounts for where the ball goes. Quarterback accuracy is how well the ball is thrown, and the power, of course, how hard or how far or how short it's thrown. So where as a quarterback, what are you doing? If you're going to be the running back, right? You telling him, the running back, to run outside versus stay inside versus read off the tackle, off the blocks. Hello, bro, that's user control. That is exactly what user control is. Adding a spin move or adding a juke button that actually mattered, because the animations in this game when you spin the juke don't matter, but when you actually add it again, that matters. It's not gonna make that much of a difference. All it is somebody's gonna miss a tackle, which happens in everyday gaming. So this whole logic of, oh, user control is too much, it's a different game, bro. Just say EA scarred you for life, and you don't trust any companies to implement user control the right way. And for that, like I've been saying, there's 2 game modes that allows you to sit and let attributes matter: coach mode and spectate mode. If you do not if you want to actually control a player, you look for a user experience, period. If you look for a user experience, the rest of the game community should not be capped because you can't do something. If you are bad at users controls, stay out of using control games. It should be that simple. This whole competitive versus let me tell you something. That whole competitive versus simulation versus arcade, do y'all not realize that was a scam? Madden plays the same way no matter which mode you select. That's what's crazy to me. That Madden plays the same exact way no matter which mode you select. So when you sit here and say that, try to make that a logic, it's illogical. It's very illogical. Madden, NFL Madden 05 and NFL Street 2 played differently because they were different games. That's the true definition of a difference when it comes to arcade and when it becomes to attempt at a simulation. But once you start going into the later years where you playing the same Madden 24, it literally plays the same exact way no matter what you do, that receiver still's going to go up with one hand and shit on 3 defenders and gush through somebody and be able to stand back up and run, and right before he scores the touchdown, he's going to fumble and the ball's going to flip all over the place and you can't pick it up until it goes out of bounds somewhere random. That's going to happen every time. It doesn't matter which mode you play. So the fact that you see and try to have that logic is, listen, EA scarred you for life. You can't do it. You don't like user skills. Be quiet. The rest of us, bro, we want user skills. We want it because that's what user gameplay is for. And the fact that I get trolled by the same 3 people when Danny doesn't even give a fuck about what I've been asking for, because ain't nothing been in the game that I've asked for. Like what I've asked for, nothing that's been in the game. Everything was already a plan to be brought into the game, or I have no influence in the community for real. So why are the same 3 trolls want to come to me and argue about something that Danny doesn't even care about? Access football is not going to change because I said so. I have no type of power. It's called ideas and wish list, bro. I literally said user games is to be for user control all the way. I just want to be able to catch. I just want to be able to spin. I want to be able to control sprint. Sprint doesn't even really matter. Sprint doesn't even really matter in the game. You can hold the button all you want to. All you doing is making your player fatigue. If you don't hold the button, he runs the same speed. We're not finna sit here and act like there's real differences to argue about. So anyway, like I said, that's why I get toxic, because I'm tired of the same 3 trolls and everybody crying and complaining because EA has scarred this world so bad. And I really blame EA for this, because this is terrible that you can really scar somebody so bad they run into an indie game, into a Discord, and cry and complain. It's really ridiculous. It gets toxic for no reason. No reason at all. Anyway, next up, some broken tackles don't matter because the player that got broken still gets up and make the tackle. And this is very true. It happens a lot. Players will do a diving attempt at an interception past you and still do a leg tackle somehow. Players, they do super flips at you sometimes. Like it's funny. It's fun to see, but it gets annoying at times because it's like, bro, if I'm going to break a tackle, if I'm going to catch the ball past somebody or right in front of somebody, they shouldn't be able to just make a tackle like that. Like the zoom to the animation, that's when it starts to feel like Madden. So I'm like, we gotta stop. Anyway, next up is random senseless penalties. Now, I know they added new penalties, and I know to implement the game sometimes it gets slouchy. I'm not really, picking too much here. I understand how that works, especially since the updates, they kind of stopped a little bit. I mean, a lot of them still happen, but they stopped. So, I know that's something they have to work on. So I'm gonna give them another year before I really kill them about the random penalties. I'm not even gonna do all that. But there's this one bug. Speaking of bugs, there's this one bug where the offensive motion causes the user to jump off sides. If you watch my series, you've seen it multiple times. You heard me try not to comment on it too many times, but it happens all the damn time. The motion causes your defensive player to jump off sides, and this is how you know your movements really don't even fucking matter in user control. But like I said, that argument, it's ridiculous at this point. Like y'all act like this game is fucking perfect, but anyway, that bug needs to be fixed. I brought it up. I don't know if I'm the only person that brought it up, but that's the point too. I haven't seen nobody else bring it up. That's how I know myself. Whatever I say doesn't really matter, because none of the stuff I've addressed, nothing has been fixed. Nothing. I'm talking about in the Discord. So, and I'm not complaining about that. He doesn't have to. I'm nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm nobody. I'm nobody. I'm just saying, when people troll you for stuff that you say and your stuff doesn't even matter, it's annoying. It's annoying as shit, because nobody gives a fuck about what I'm talking about. Nobody listens to me. Then it's not implementing nothing I'm saying. So why are same three people trolling me? Like, this shit is ridiculous. Next up is there is no in-game atmosphere. I mean, this is something that's been asked for years, man. There needs to be loud cheering for good plays, boos for bad plays, dead silence for dead games, and uproar and chaos for the close, hard-fought games where it was an upset, or maybe the team was supposed to win one, but it was just so close. They just happy that they got the victory because they got out of there alive. There needs to be an atmosphere for all of this, and the fact that there's not one yet kind of takes away from the in-game experience, and it should have been implemented already. It's crazy that it's not been. Next up is no replay option. This goes towards content creator friendly gaming. We need that replay option to highlight things that's going on. Otherwise, we have to do it in the editor, and since things get blurry when you try to zoom in too bad, or it's certain things that go with it. It's a whole lot to go with it, and it's just hard. We need that replay option. We've been asking for it. Again, other games have already implemented a replay option, no matter how bad it's been. Like the one in Maximum was trash, but it wasn't trash, but it just wasn't as good as previous games, such as 2K football and the older Madden. Like, their instant replays, was almost 100% controllable, and we don't have any replay at all in Access, so that needs to be implemented. I really need to see that. Animations need better transitions, and when we say this, it's like animations for the offensive line, right? Sometimes when they break a line, they get off the line, get past the offensive lineman, the defensive lineman will stop. They'll come still and then proceed as if they forgot what they were doing. Even with the offensive lineman, they do a good block, monster hit. He lays down, and they'll wait it's like they're waiting to see, okay, who's coming next? What do I do next? It's like a point of confusion before they get right back into the action. Running back, same thing. If you ever pay close attention, when he breaks that first tackle, it's like a little second where he kind of looks and be like, where am I going? Versus continue my momentum. It's kind of especially with those break tackle logic, where it's like a throw the guy off him, kind of if you're not controlling him, right, he kind of forgets to take that next step forward. It happens. It's really quick, but I notice it sometimes just because I don't have control of it. I'm looking for it. Anyway, punt return logic is still flawed, and we still can't fair catch. Like, fair catching is something standard in football. It's happened for too long. It's been in every game except for Axis. I have no idea why fair catch is not in it. It's crazy, but we should be able to fair catch. Like, it's a moments where I really need to fair catch or really want to fair catch, and I can't do it, so now I'm forced to try to run it out of bounds real quick, or just accept the fact that I'm finna get tackled and waste 2-3 seconds off the clock. So, and last but not least, especially not least, the ball is still being spotted in the wrong places, and that kind of affects my play call. I'm looking to run left and can't run left, and it's an outside play, and I don't have much room to work with, even though I just got tackled on the right side of the field. Like, I'm trying to spread this defense. I'm trying to make them stop penetrating me in the middle and pause on that. Like, you gotta understand that the ball placement, I never realized how important ball placement was until I played Axis. I literally would question, when I was younger, I ain't gonna say now because I know football, but when I was younger, I was like, man, what the hell? Why do they keep placing the ball on the side? Like, why don't just place it in the middle every time and just give them an equal field? I would say that as a young kid watching football, I was explaining to it then why, but I was like, that just sounded like a rule somebody just made up. But no. It's, if the Axis was around back then, I definitely would understand why ball placement is so important. I definitely would understand it, because this is crazy. This is crazy. They're gonna come from they blitz to the same side. Most of the run plays run to the same side. I can just boom to the outside real quick on a pitch play, to the opposite side where everybody's not expecting it, and go get 8 yards. No. You're lucky if the ball get placed at the right spot. Now it's time to focus on the good. So presentation wise, opening the game, listening to the menu music. I don't know who that is rapping on there, but he actually was alright. Like, he was spitting. I ain't gonna lie to you. A couple of times I be, this is forever. You know what I'm saying? I be, hey, look, he was spitting. He did his thing on that song. I don't know who it is, man. They need to bring in a soundtrack or something like that. But the fresh look, man, the menu music, it feels good. It really felt good. When I first opened the game, I felt good. Like, it made my expectations so much higher. I'm thinking, bro, this is a new game. You know, they probably should have saved this for like they probably should have saved it for like 25 or 26, because this 24 was not worth that. Like, you open up to think you finna have a brand new experience, and it's literally the same shit as 23. But I'm gonna get to that later. Being able to return to a match that I quit or left is awesome. Resume match, like, I don't know who came up with that and who implemented it. It's been implemented really well, and it's awesome. I like it. I've been using it for exhibition. I haven't been using it in the franchise. I think I showed you how it worked one time, but I haven't been using it in the franchise because I don't do that. It's ridiculous. If I'm going to record a video, I'm going to do it all the way through and through anyway. But now, even though I did say they don't have create a play and edit a play, it's still good that they implemented the playbook editor, because at least with the plays they do have, you know, the ones that don't really work or end up in interceptions, you can always get them out the playbook. Things that end up in loss of yards because of animations or because of, you know, maybe your offensive line ain't strong, the defensive line you playing against is incredible. You can get them out of the way, get them plays out of there. So that playbook editor, you know, it comes in handy. It's there for a reason. It comes in handy. So for the franchise, there's new features. All the new features in the front office mode is a good, because they're trying. Like I said, this first year team logic, I'm not gonna kill them so much about that because they tried. Team management, though, I have to, because that's been something we've been talking about for years. Like, just simple as fixing the AI, fixing this roster is to put the best players first. That's simple. I don't even care about the trading and all of that. Literally, I have a better player that's been put onto my roster, make them a starter. That's something that's simple. I don't see why that, anyway. So yeah, but the good is they tried to add AI team logic. You know, they tried to with the new activities and stuff like that. So the new stuff, you know, that's a good. Still is the same deep game mode. Franchise is still deep, and it's still it has a lot of depth. It's good. I love the franchise mode. Like, I'm not taking nothing from it. I love the franchise mode. I just wish the teams were smart. They were alive. They've been so since for them not to, you know. And last but not least, you can create multiple league types now. So 18 leagues, 12, 16, 24, 32, 36. It's different types, you know. Then you got what's already been here, the, you know, American style versus the European style, which is the tiers versus the conferences and divisions. So it's that's good. Like, that's always a good, you know. So like I said, the franchise is deep, is creative, it's fun, and that's the best feature in the game by far. I love the franchise mode. Going to the graphics, player models did get a new texture update. I've noticed it in game, I've seen it, and I've even said it during some of my videos. Their uniforms look more grittier, and I like the way they look. When it comes to the darker colors, I have noticed, like, the lighter colors, the texture kind of doesn't really show up. So I don't even know if it's a new texture for real, but I think it is, because it's not in 23 for sure. Like, no matter what color uniform it doesn't look like it does in 23. So I think the texture did get an update, or maybe I'm just looking for something, but I'm pretty sure that they got an update and it's nice. I like it. The new stadiums, I love. It's always a good when you're trying to add in all the stadiums. The fact that, like, every team should have a home stadium, that's just standard, but, you know, it's good that, you know, it's getting there. It's getting there to that point where every team has to stay. Like I've always said, Axis does not have a real foundation yet. Once the foundation is there, and that's what I mean. Like, all the stadiums not even in the game. So technically, all the teams don't even have a home game. They're using other team stadiums. This is something a pro league would not do. This is something of a minor league would do. You know, this is not something a pro league would do. All pro leagues would have their own stadium, and so that's why I say Axis doesn't really have a foundation yet. So you have to always take that into account when you're judging it. Like, it's not finished. The foundation's not even laid. It's not finished yet, and we know it has a long way to go before it is, and then it can continue to get better from there. That's what people have to understand. So, gameplay wise, new animation from the OL is always good. All right, so I'm gonna just say that these new animation from the offensive linemen, when they putting people on their backs, that shit is funny. I love that shit. Defense has gotten harder, and the offense has gotten smarter. I will give you that. Even though they still out there making some meatball plays, but they have gotten harder and smarter. I give you that. I mean, it's a few games where I thought I was finna throw a 15-yard reception and get out of bounds, and the defensive back gets an interception, and one of them took it back for a 6. So they've gotten harder. But again, that accounts for user control. RBs, running backs now actually runs to the outside. That's lovely. I love to see they actually try to hit the sideline. That is something been a lot of people have been saying, like, why don't they ever try to hit the outside? They always try to cut up. And running backs, the smart running backs tend to hit the sideline because that's their best chance at getting that touchdown on that play. So, they doing it in the game now, so that's a good. And then last but not least, QB sneaks and keepers are now called, which now if you have a more mobile quarterback, you don't need to use the game to where you can have to force the quarterback to run the ball. You can actually just call the quarterback keeper, quarterback sneak, and that quarterback will take that ball and he will go. And it is a beautiful thing to watch. It is a beautiful thing to watch. Now, for what I hope happens with Axe's future is, I just hope it's an overall just upgrade, man. Like I said, those animations need transitions, man. The fans and the crowd, the atmosphere, I mean, even the soundtrack thing, everything. I just need everything to upgrade and get better. I need that bug to go away with the motion. I need the user game to actually feel like a user control, or take the damn thing out the game, because it makes no sense at this point. Like, I'm literally just using my player to run certain ways, and like, I do it for the channel. I do it for y'all. I love y'all. Like, I'm gonna do it for y'all regardless. But it's annoying when I can't actually control anything, or when whatever I put in doesn't really matter. Like, it gets ridiculous. As y'all can see, I stopped using some of the buttons. If you watch the first game of the year, or the first season, and you keep watching, you'll notice I stopped using the juke move. I stopped using the spin move. I'm literally just running and hoping that I can get an animation to trigger a stiff arm. Like, it's dumb. It's dumb. Like, it's really dumb and redundant at this point. It's really dumb and redundant at this point. And I just wish that would get better more than anything. And man, I really would love to see the graphics get better. Graphics and gameplay. I really just, overall, graphics and gameplay just needs to overhaul. But really though, I hope a foundation gets laid. I hope that the direction of this game goes the right football direction, and not someone's direction to make money, or someone's direction of listening to the wrong people. Because like I said, those same three trolls, you can't listen to people who have been scarred by other video games to how to build your video game. It's like getting into a marriage with a woman based off of what the last woman did to you. You feel me? Like, that's so stupid. Like, just, bro, watch football. You know what football is. Implement it. Like I said, fair catch should be in the game. That's crazy that it's not. That's crazy that it's not. So, like, I hope the future of Axis goes towards what football really is on all levels. Even because people say, well, you can't customize football. Actually, you can. That's what the XFL is. That's a customized league. That's what XFL is. That's what the USFL is. These are all leagues that are pro leagues outside of the major pro league, with teams that don't look nothing like the pro leagues. They're customized. So, I'm just hoping it goes to the direction where actual football is going. That's my hope for the Axis future. Like, please, bro, Danny, if you watch this video, which I know you're not, and you probably won't get to the end, but if you do watch this video, who do get to the end, you get to the, please go in the direction of football. Do not listen to the wrong gamers. Saints Row made that mistake, bro. Like, it's so many games I heard made the mistake of listening to the wrong gamers. And I know it seems like, how can you tell who are the wrong gamers? Look at the arguments. Look at the conversations we're having, and you can tell where it's coming from. If it's coming from a place of resentment, of hurt, of untrustworthiness, of complaining, raging ass gamerism, don't listen to it. Listen to the people who are talking football. You feel me? Who are talking gaming. Because when it comes to gaming, we have control. Let me ask y'all something. Name one game where you had least amount of control ever and literally enjoyed it to the end. That's not Axis. Don't think about it, just not Axis. Any other game where you did not have as much control and you played it. Because what we do is we tend to clean the Axis, so we clean the Axis, we make an excuse for it, right? Okay, here you go. Here's your chance right now. Cut Axis out your memory. Axis never existed. They one game you played like this, where it's not that much control, and you literally enjoyed it and kept playing it. There's no game. We only do this because it's Axis football, and Madden has scarred everybody. So instead of having a game we play just because we don't like Madden, let's have a game we play because we love football, and we love football games. That's my thing. And if y'all can't understand that, then y'all just can't understand it. Agree to disagree. But I just hope Danny doesn't listen to y'all, because this is ridiculous at this point. It really is. Next up, my unpopular opinion is Axis 24 is not better than Axis 23. It is not. They are either on the same level, or Axis 23 has it beat by one or two things. And that goes back into the gameplay. That goes back into like I said, gameplay. It's gonna be gameplay. I'm not gonna lie to you, because we lost control in 24. So if I was rating it based off of overall, it would be 23, just because of like 1 or 2 points. And that's just gameplay. Not even gonna lie to you. It's really gameplay. It's gameplay, and then it would be franchise, only because the stuff in franchise that was added is broken. But it's the same game technically, so that ties up. That's why I said it's just a few points, and it's really just gameplay. The presentation that was added in 24 does not outdo the experience you get for playing 23. That's just my opinion. It's an unpopular opinion. I don't care. X23 is better, but neither games are quote unquote Madden killers. And honestly, until Axis gets to about 28 or 29, or Danny does an overhaul, stop listening to the wrong people, and his game is built for football, it won't ever be a Madden killer. When games get built for football, that's when it's going to be a Madden killer. I think that's what Maximus is trying to do. I don't know. We'll see in 2024. But once a game gets built for this is football and this is football only, it's not about money, it's not about crybabies, it's not about people who can or can't do this, it's not about the pros, it's not about esports, it's not about being famous. It's literally, I built this game for it to be a football game. Once we get back to that, because that's how the old devs did it. That's why their games are so fire. Listen, once we get a game that's built for football and football only, then only will it become a Madden killer. And that is 100% facts. Now, not even last but not least, so we're gonna say this. What's next up is my ratings. Now, presentation, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Like I said, the presentation brought me back to Blitz the League 1 and 2. Not NFL Blitz the League 1 and 2. That raw, that gritty, got the rap in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is there's no movie, no motion pictures. That's it. Because Blitz the League 1 and 2, when it comes to presentation, is unmatched. I don't care what type of game you playing. Unmatched. Behind them is NFL Street 2 and 1. Unmatched. Do you feel me? Like, that's how you know you finna, what you get, what game you finna play. Is gritty, is raw. Presentation X24 is awesome, bro. Awesome, bro. It's in my top 10 of presentation right now. When it comes to sports football games, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Top 10. And it's no motion. That's without a movie. But that's because, EA has made mistakes of showing glitches and bugs in their shit. So it's like, it would be raw if it wasn't showing that the game I'm about to play is fraud. It's crap. But anyway, graphics. Graphics is going to get a 6 out of 10. I'm not going to, you heard what I said about graphics. We ain't going to, elaborate too much. 6 out of 10. Gameplay, 3 out of 10. I am thoroughly disappointed and upset with the gameplay because it has not improved at all. It has not improved. It actually regressed, in my opinion. Unpopular opinion, but it's regressed. Franchise, 9 out of 10. I mean, it's the same franchise, 9 out of 10. And like I said, new stuff has been implemented. So, once it gets implemented, once it's like at a point where it's not being worked on anymore, then they'll get a new grade, because then I'll be able to say, okay, well, this is working, so now it's this, or it's not working, so now it's this. And maybe they added something I did, like we'll bring the grade down, or maybe they add something I love, and they'll get a 10 out of 10 for franchise. But right now it's at a 9 out of 10. Replayability, 7 out of 10. It's like 1 or 2 days out the week, man, I really want to play Axis. Other days I really don't want to play it at all. Like, the gameplay is like killing me. But replayability, I'm gonna say 7 out of 10, just because I do come back to it, and so I can't say I don't come back to it. Content creator friendly, 2 out of 10. There's no replays. Like I said, it gets real hard to read names on jerseys and numbers, and it's, when they pop up, sometimes the stats ain't right. I mean, I know he kind of fixed it, but still sometimes it has a problem with keeping up with that. So, it's not really content creator friendly. You really have to pay attention to know it really doesn't assist you in that way. You have to go through and look for injuries, especially in the exhibition mode. You got to go through and look for the injuries. They don't even pop up for you. So, hey, man, content creator friendly, 2 out of 10. Now, for overall, this year's Axis Football 24, this year I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. Like I said, I think Axis 23 was the better game by a few points. But this year's version of Axis Football 24 is getting a 6 out of 10 from Pharaoh Trey Gaming. That is it. That is all. And last but not least, shout out to Broly TV. Shout out to Broly TV, Broly55. He actually inspired this review. He did. I saw his review, and I kind of thought it unfair for me not to do a review when I said I was gonna do a review. Like, I shouldn't let certain things that happened in my life or happened in the Discord or happened here stop me from producing for the channel. It's not fair to y'all, and I love y'all. So I'm gonna do the reviews like I said I'm gonna do, and even for the the other games, I'm gonna do all the reviews I said I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my time and make sure I do them. So shout out to Broly. Shout out to my brothers. They told me to do the review too. They pushed me for it. So shout out to them. Thank you for everybody who's pushed me to it. It's a few people who's like, man, do right by your channel, do it. I mean, you gotta tell the truth. You can't not tell the truth just because you love a game. And that's the truth, man. We can't sit here and love a game so much that we won't tell the truth. We got to tell the truth. We have to tell the truth. That's how games end up like Madden. I don't want Axel to be another Madden. He's supposed to be a Madden killer, not the Madden twin. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, I gotta be honest. All right, but man, so by name I shouted out Broly, by group I'm shouting out my brothers, and by love I'm shouting out everybody. Subscribers, all of y'all, man. I love y'all, man. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. Use my hashtag FairTradeGaming to help my channel grow, man. I love y'all. I know y'all love me. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Peace.